Hi, my name is Tara Chambers, and today I'll be talking to you about the country Costa Rica. Costa Rica means rich coast in Spanish, but happened to be one of the poorest regions of the Spanish Empire. Now it is a prosperous Latin American country without a standing army. Before Costa Rica had contact with the Europeans, they had been invaded by the Caribs from the north coast in South America. The Caribs were warrior people who conquered the tribes and territory in the coastal plain on the Caribbean side. The Caribs had acquired gold and turned them into pendants. In the year 1502, Columbus' ship came to Costa Rica and saw potential for the land when they saw gold pendants on the natives. So Columbus left his brother Bartolome with a small ship to explore the lands for wealth. That same year, King Ferdinand of Spain commissioned Diego and Costa to explore the same territory. Costa Rica, however, was not an easily conquered territory. It had to be separated by tribes in order to be conquered. Costa was not able to establish permanent settlement, though. Gil Gonzalez de Villa was the next to lead expedition onto this land, and it wasn't until 1524 the Spanish established a temporary settlement by Fernando de Cordova. In 1539, the authorities of the Spanish Empire made Costa Rica independent of the Veragua administrators in Panama, and in 1542 it was given the status of gobernación with its own administrators. Later in 1568 it was made part of the Kingdom of Guatemala. Eventually they received independence by default. Costa Rica, as a part of Guatemala, became independent of Spain when the Captain General of Guatemala proclaimed independence. Soon after, Mexico declared independence. In 1948, Costa Rica declared itself a republic and adopted a constitution which established basic civil rights and abolished the army. Costa Rica's coastlines lie on the Caribbean Sea, just to the right over here, and the Pacific Ocean to the left. It is located in Central America. According to nationsonline.org, Costa Rica's bordering countries would be Nicaragua in the north and Panama in the southeast, with Honduras and El Salvador and Colombia nearby. Costa Rica has a total area of 51,100 square kilometers. Its climate is tropical and subtropical, having a dry season from December through April and a rainy season from May to November, while it remains cooler in the highlands. When it comes to the terrain, Costa Rica's coastal plain separated by rugged mountains, including 100 volcanic cones, with several being active. Costa Rica has 37% of its land dedicated to agriculture, 51.5% for forest lands, and another 11.4% as unspecified land usage. Costa Rica's capital is in San Jose. 1/5 of the population lives there, while half of the nation's population abides in urban areas. According to July 2016 CIA Factbook, Costa Rica's population is 4,872,543 people, 50.8% of them being men and 49.2% of them being women. 83.6% of the population would be considered white or mestizo, 6.7% mulatto, 2.4% indigenous, 1.1% black or African descent, 1.1% other, 5.1% unspecified. Costa Rica's net migration rate is 0.8%. Costa Rica has numerous religion practices. Christianity is the main one. Roman Catholics obtain 76.3% of the population. Evangelic obtain 13.7%. Jehovah's Witness obtain 1.3%. Other Protestants obtain 0.7%. And 4.8% of practices another religion, and 2.9% don't practice religion. Their official language is Spanish, and their secondary language being English. According to Human Development Reports, Costa Rica's HDI in 2014 is 0.776 with rank of 66. HDI female 0.762 and male 0.786. The life expectancy of Costa Ricans is 79.6 years of age. They have 0 deaths due to malaria, 0.8 deaths due to tuberculosis, 0.3 adults from the ages of 15 to 49 have HIV prevalence, 8.5% infant mortality rate per 1,000 live births, and the public health expenditure is 6.8% of the GDP. When it comes to education in Costa Rica, they're expected to spend 14.2 years in school. The majority of their population is literate by the age of 15. The Gender Development Index is to be 0.969. Costa Rica has a high standard of living and a well-developed social benefits. Their government-sustained social spending is almost 20% of the GDP. They have great progress toward achieving its goal of providing universal access to education, health care, clean water, sanitation, and electricity. Since their improvement, there has been a decline in infant mortality, an increase in life expectancy at birth, and a sharp decrease in birth rate. Costa Rica's poverty rate is lower than most Latin American countries. Their current president is Luis Guillermo Solis. He has been the president of Costa Rica since 2014 and is a member of the Center-Left Citizens Action Party, otherwise known as PAC. Citizens Action Party platform is based on encouraging citizen participation and involvement in politics. They fight against corruption, believing one of the main causes is underdevelopment and voter apathy. According to BBC.com, he pledged to bring transparency and humility to the presidency. Shortly after coming to power, he passed a decree banning plaques bearing his name and portraits of him being hung in government offices. His victory, however, ended Costa Rica's traditional two-party system, which did see power traded between the Social Democratic PLN and the Social Christian Unity Party, known as the PUSC. He won the election with 78% of the vote. After his main rival, John Herrera of the ruling Liberation Party, PLN, the PLN had been beset by allegations of widespread corruption and economic mismanagement under outgoing President Laura Chinchilla. 35.2% of the legislators, senior officials, and managers are female. When it comes to media, Costa Rica is very proud of its reputation at having the best human rights and freedom of expression in Latin America. They have maintained a close watch and have been making moves towards decriminalizing media offenses, since media plays a very big part in their society. This is the Capitol building called the Plaza de la Cultura, which the president does all his work in. Okay, here's a quick summary from the bbcnews.com of Costa Rica's political history. 1502, Christopher Columbus sights Costa Rica. Spanish colonization begins in 1522. By 1563, Spanish has established the colonial capital of Cartago. 1821, Costa Rica declares independence from Spain and joins the Mexican Empire. 1823, Costa Rica becomes a province in the Central American Federation along with El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. 1838, Costa Rica becomes a fully independent country after the disintegration of the United Province of Central America. And from the years of 1849 to 1859, Juan Rafael Moro leads the fight against William Walker, an American who, with an army of mercenaries, tries but fails to take control of the region. 1948, former President Rafael Angel Calderon loses the election by a slim margin and refuses to accept newly elected President Otilio Ullet. A bloody 44-day civil war ensues and a temporary government led by socialist landowner Jose Figueres emerges. 1948 to 49, a new constitution is adopted, which includes the dissolution of Costa Rica's armed forces. 1958, border skirmishes with Nicaragua are resolved through mediation by the Organization of American States. 1987, President Oscar Arias Sanchez wins the Nobel Peace Prize for his role in ending the civil wars in El Salvador and Nicaragua. He wins a second term in 2006. In 2010, Laura Chinchilla becomes Costa Rica's first female president, and in 2014, Luis Guillermo Solis wins presidential election. Here is San Jose, the capital of the city, and that is the end of my presentation. Thank you.